Welcome to Mental Health Stories. On today's episode of Adolescence, with the story starting with Adam, who was just a boy when he first felt the weight of confusion settle in his chest. He and his younger brother had followed their mother to a fuel station that day, a simple, ordinary errand. But something about that moment would stay with Adam forever. As he stood beside his mother, he saw a strange man grab her wrist. The man's grip wasn't violent, but it wasn't right either. Something about it made Adam's stomach tighten. He was too young to fully understand what was happening, but he knew enough to feel uneasy. When they got home, Adam's father, already deep into his usual routine of drinking, noticed something. His mother smelled different. The perfume she had left the house wearing was not the same scent that clung to her now. Suspicion flickered in his father's eyes. "Adam, who did your mother see today?" Adam was a child. He didn't know the weight of his words. He just told the truth. A man. The fury in his father's eyes was instant. His mother tried to walk away, but he followed her outside, his rage boiling over. And then it happened. A slap. A push. His mother on the ground. Adam rushed outside, throwing himself over her, shielding her small, trembling frame from his father's anger. He couldn't fight back. He was just a boy. All he could do was hold her. And in that moment, Adam learned something about the world. Sometimes, the people who are supposed to love you the most are the ones who hurt you the worst. Years passed, and Adam grew up carrying the weight of that moment in his heart. He and his younger brother looked after each other as their father drifted between work and home, often more interested in his beer than his family. At school, Adam had only one real friend, Kelly. Kelly was everything Adam wasn't: confident, charming, easygoing. A natural with girls. Meanwhile, Adam could barely string two sentences together when he was near his crush, Sarah. Kelly, determined to help, took Adam to a park one day. "Just walk up to a girl and talk to her," Kelly urged, exasperated. But Adam couldn't do it. "This isn't who I am," he said, frustrated with himself. Kelly sighed, scanning the area. Then, he spotted Alice. "She's quiet. She looks easy to talk to. Go." And so, for the first time, Adam approached a girl. Alice was different. She wasn't loud or intimidating. She was calm. She smiled at him, and for the first time, he didn't feel small. But Alice had a dark side. She smoked. She used drugs. And one day, she offered Adam a cigarette. Then, cocaine. At first, he hesitated. But he didn't want to be left out. So he took it. And just like that, Adam stepped onto a path he never thought he'd walk. Alice introduced Adam to a world he never imagined: clubbing, drugs, dangerous people. At first, it felt exciting. Kelly was happy for Adam at first, thinking his friend was finally coming out of his shell. But soon, he realized Adam wasn't just changing, he was disappearing. The boy who once feared speaking up was now skipping class, getting high, and chasing a love that was built on addiction. At home, things weren't any better. His mother, who had endured years of suffering, had started taking pills to numb her pain. His father, seeing his family slipping away, tried to fix things, but it was too late. Adam's mother wanted out. She was done. And when his father lashed out again, for the first time, Adam stood up to him. The same fear that had gripped him as a child was gone. But not because he had become strong. Because the drugs had made him reckless. That night, Adam stormed out of the house and ran to Alice. Together, they drowned themselves in pills and powder, chasing a high they could no longer reach. Drugs weren't cheap. The addiction was getting worse. And when Alice suggested stealing to get more, Adam, once an innocent, quiet boy, agreed. They broke into a house, took what they could. But it wasn't enough. Alice wanted more. And for the first time, Adam saw it, the emptiness in her eyes, the hunger that would never be satisfied. Kelly found Adam that night. "This isn't you," he said. But Adam didn't listen. They fought. And in that moment, Kelly realized his best friend was gone. Adam wasn't in control anymore. The drugs. Kelly refused to give up. He reached out to Alice's guardian, Mr. Henderson, and learned the truth. Alice had been lost long before Adam met her. She had been abandoned, abused, addicted. And now, she was dragging Adam down with her. Kelly made a decision. He and Alice's guardian kidnapped Adam, locking him away in a room. For weeks, Adam went through withdrawal. Sweating, shaking, vomiting. At first, he begged to be let go. Then, he screamed. Then, he went silent. And slowly, the fog began to lift. His mind cleared. And for the first time in months, he saw himself again. When Adam finally returned home, he found his mother on the verge of collapse. Her body was failing. The pills had taken their toll. And just like that, Adam realized he wasn't the only one who needed saving. Holding her frail hands, he told her everything was going to be fine. For the first time in years, they faced their pain together. Adam also went to a bar he knows his father always frequent. He told him to go home with a hint of forgiveness in his tone. Adam had one last thing to do. He found Alice sitting on her apartment steps, her body thin, her arms bruised. She looked at him, exhausted. "Came to lecture me?" she asked. Adam knelt before her, taking her hands gently. "No," he said. "I came to tell you the truth." Alice tried to push him away, but he held on. "You need help." For a long moment, she said nothing. Then, she broke. She didn't cry. She didn't fall into his arms. She pushed him out, but deep down she knew she needed him. She knew she loved him. For the first time, she saw the light. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more episodes on mental health stories. Comment and subscribe to the channel for more stories recap. Thank you.